it was devastating for us. It was a very sad day for the Kurruma people. I was travelling from Port Hedland back down to Karratha with my 4 grandsons, and they didn't know what was going on, but it was a sad day for us. And then finding out a couple of days later that it actually was actually destroyed, then you felt the emptiness, that something was taken away from you, something that was so significant to you and our community. You know, it's proof that our ancestors occupied this area for 46,000 years, and for that to be taken away, it's hard to understand why that happened. But once you start to hear some of the evidence that came out of the Senate Review Committee, well then that's even more devastating, that this could have been prevented, and that opportunity was taken away from us when it came to sharing our culture, our heritage, and the significance of the site to our future generations.
Why do you think it could have been prevented?
Look, I think there's a lot of I suppose pieces in our claim-wide participation agreement with the mining proponent that the relationship wasn't exercised to its full right under the claim-wide participation agreement. I think there could have been a lot more engagement, communication between. You know, we're hearing that there was 4 options for this particular area. I don't believe that any of those options were shared with the PKKP. Otherwise, if it was, then we wouldn't be having a conversation around this site. So, look, I think there's still a lot of work to be done. We've had to reset the relationship. I've always said that we're committed to building that relationship. We're not opposed to mining. However, we want to ensure that we're around the table when it comes to making decisions about impact on our country. We're not going to let this happen again.
You all talk about co-management. Tell me a bit about co-management. What does it look like having that seat at the table?
Look, that seat at the table for us ensures that we've got a voice and we're heard. And that co-management piece, the model around that is to ensure that those voices that are normally silent when it comes to these type of conversations and discussions and mine development, mine planning, that there is a voice there, a traditional owner voice, to make sure that they're hearing us and that we work together to get an outcome where we're able to still preserve and protect our cultural landscape, but the mining companies are able to continue doing their work. And that's basically what we want to achieve out of this.
There's been some setbacks in the relationship since this all happened almost a year ago. What are some of the things that you're hoping? Well, tell me a little bit about what happened in terms of the relationship with Rio and how you'd like it to go forward.
The relationship with Rio, there needs to be, you know, from my experience, it's been either non-existence or there was a lack of leadership in terms of being able to share and ensure that we've got the traditional owners, that is, have got prior informed consent to make decisions around activities on our country. Without that, then that relationship just doesn't work. we want to make sure that we're an important partner to any mining activities on our country. And the only way we're going to achieve that is through the management that I just spoke about. So just making sure that that's in place, and we want to do business with the mining proponent, but we want to do it on our terms.
And this is not just a lesson for you and working with Rio Tinto. This is for traditional owners. You know, you're not just doing this just for the sake of PKKP, are you?
Look, I'm sure that there are other traditional owners in the Pilbara that are looking at what's happened here, and the way that PKKP is moving forward in resetting that relationship. It's certainly, we've certainly got the support from other traditional owners in terms of the way forward for us, and we want to make sure that the outcome we achieve is one that's going to be sustainable for our future generation, and that they're able to benefit from the work that we do now in resetting this relationship, so that we avoid something like this ever happening again on our country.
If I was going to write you a cheque, how much money do you think it would take to restore or to put back what you lost at Juukan Gorge?
No amount of money will ever replace that. Nothing. I'd rather have the rock shelter back than you write me a cheque. That's how I feel about it.
Why is it important to preserve these areas and significant sites? Why is it important?
Well, just like previous before us, we are the caretakers of this land. You know, we need to preserve what's there. What is our jobs to be doing is to look after our country. It's for our future generations too. Something for them to learn, you know, something that we can educate them. They learn how to respect the land and the country itself. And without that, we can't show them anything about that to make them understand, look, this is what we are here for.
What would you say to someone who said, oh, it's just, just some rocks and some carvings, get over it?
No. To us, it's not rocks and carvings. To us, it's precious. It means something to us. For many years ago, our ancestors looked after this. It was very important to them, and now it's passed on to us. And we have understood that why it's very important for us to look after this. It's not just any caves, it's not just any rocks. It's very important to us PKK people.